Hey, if you're a stock or options trader and you're just having trouble getting to that next level of profitability, it's probably for one reason, and that is because you're not looking at the stock charts. And if you are looking at the stock charts, then you're just not understanding what you should be looking for. So if you want to get to that next level of profitability for your trades, you have to look at the stock charts. So I'm here to help you do that. I make these free videos every week. I show you what I'm seeing on my charts. I've been in the business for over 30 years now. I've looked at hundreds of thousands of charts. And there's patterns that keep repeating themselves over and over again. And there's simple things that you can look at on the charts that could help you decide which way a stock is going to move. If you're an options trader, there's only one way for you to be profitable, and that is for the stock to move in the direction that you need it to. Okay, so I'm going to show you what I'm seeing on my charts. We're going to look at some setups. We're going to look at indexes. We're going to look at individual stocks, and I'm going to show you what I'm seeing. You got to put in the work. You got to do the research. If you want to be profitable, you got to put in a little effort. Okay, so I make these videos free for the trading community. We're all here to help each other out. So let's just start looking at the charts. All right, let's just jump right in. So like we do just about every week, we start by looking at the indexes, and we look at the S&P 500 because in my opinion, that's the best overall view of the market as a whole. And we look at the SPY, that's the exchange traded fund for the S&P 500. So we want to see which way the indexes are moving because the indexes have a pull on the individual stocks. When individual stocks don't really have much news going on, they're just kind of floating around. The indexes will help drive those stocks higher or lower depending on which way the indexes go. So we like to look at the SPY. And what you're seeing in front of you on your screen is the charts that I use. Okay, we got the price action up in this section here, and down here is the RSI indicator. It's an overbought, oversold oscillator. Now, we draw these blue channels here. The channels here help you see which way a stock or index is trending. The trend is very important because you want to get involved in a trend. You want to catch a trend because that will allow you to latch on to the move that's already on its way. And you want to ride that trend until it's not moving in that direction anymore. So this is the S&P 500. You can see most of 2022 was in a downtrend. A good part of 2023 was an uptrend. And then we've had this nice move higher here. So we draw the channels. These are called channels. And then we can just see which way the market is moving. And it could certainly help you. And I also have my 3 moving averages. I got a blue 20-day moving average. I got a red 50-day and a longer 200-day moving average. Those are the only 3 moving averages that I use. Keep it simple. You don't have to have 50 or 100 indicators on your charts. That way you'll never get to see the price action too much. Keep it simple. And as I said, down here is the RSI oscillator. It moves between overbought and oversold based on the 80 level and the 20 level here that I've set. You can change that to anything you want. So where are we? Where is the market? Where are we headed? What are we seeing? Well, here we saw last week trading in the markets, all-time new highs for the S&P 500. This is the price action. This is a daily chart. Each one of these bars is 1 day's worth of trading. All-time new highs on Thursday this past week. This was May 23rd. This bar right here, okay, this line right here, that's Thursday, May 23rd, all-time new highs. So this whole week, and we draw these lines here. This was a resistance line. The market had come up, made an all-time new high back here, got knocked back down, and then it traded all the way back up to the same area. That was called a resistance. Some people will call this a double top. You got one high here, another high here. Double top typically can mean it's a resistance area where the market might come back down, because there's a lot of people waiting up here to sell it. Did not happen. It blasted right through that resistance, and now it becomes support. Prior resistance now becomes support. So this line here that I'm highlighting is now support on the way down. And you can see also on Thursday, the big line here, it bounced right off the support, and here is Friday, the last bar. So what we're seeing here is that the market is creating a support area for itself for the next move higher. I'm an optimist. I'm a long-term bull. And the market always goes up over time. You just have to find the spots and the pullbacks to decide when to get in. Now, the trends, the channels will tell you where you can get in for a buy if you want to be long. You wait for a pullback to the bottom edge of the channel, or you wait to a pullback to one of the moving averages, and that's your higher probability setups of where to get in. Now, where we are here, this is an area where the market's kind of going sideways. It got up through the resistance. It's trying to find its legs here. And in my opinion, I believe this is setting up for the next move higher for more all-time new highs. Okay, so that's the S&P 500. The RSI is not anywhere near overbought, so I think it's got room to keep running higher. That's the way I'm seeing it. For me, and I'm going to put on my option trades, I'm going under the bullish mentality here because I think that based on the setups that I'm seeing, based on it blasting through resistance, getting, its legs here for the next move higher, I'm more inclined to take a bullish stance in the market. Okay, so that's the S&P 500. Let's look at the NASDAQ. We look at the triple Qs. And if you want to see the symbol, it's up here in the top left-hand corner. Triple Qs, same thing as the S&P 500. We had some resistance areas, and we can draw that here. Just take a line and you draw along some tops of prior moves, and you can see we can also draw. This is the upside action. So basically, this triangle here is what's called an ascending triangle. It's a bullish pattern where it's moving up, moving up, moving up, trying to get through this resistance. And when it finally blasts through resistance, it should keep on going. The moving averages, all three moving averages, 200-day, 50-day, 20-day, are all sloping upwards. That's very important. So upward sloping moving averages are just telling you that the stock or index that you're looking at has got good bullish momentum, good bullish trending, okay? Trending higher. So it should continue going higher, even if it's getting a little bit sideways action here. It's just gearing up for the next move higher. Let's look at the Dow. The Dow Jones, we look at use the diamonds, the DIA. Here's the symbol up here. The Dow, the last couple of days were not as strong as the S&P 500 and NASDAQ. Got hit a little bit, but if a stock or index is in an uptrend, when it has a pullback, it will typically pull back to one of the moving averages. In this case, it's sitting right on the 20-day moving average here. You can see it right here. And if it pulls back a little bit more, you have this 50-day waiting to catch it right down here. Now, it also made an all-time new high, but it started to come off. For whatever reason, the Dow components, the 30 Dow components, there's only 30 stocks in the Dow Jones. Those stocks got hit for whatever reason. People were selling those and buying the NASDAQ and the other S&P 500 stocks. But overall, the Dow is still strong. Okay, so stocks are strong. Most of the Q1 earnings seasons is pretty much over. We got all the major stocks have already announced their earnings. Most of them did pretty good. So stocks are looking good. The indexes, the overall market, in my opinion, is looking strong. There's always going to be gloom and doomers out there, people that are telling you the market's got to pull back. It can't go any higher. The market can always go higher because the market's made up of companies that are pumping out products that are producing more and more profits quarter after quarter. Stock has to go up. If a company's profitable quarter after quarter, the stock price has to go up. That's how the market works. Yes, we will have pullbacks from time to time on these shorter term pullbacks because the market is made up of millions and millions of people, and people are buying and selling for various reasons, for whatever reasons. And we'll always have pullbacks, but that's healthy for the market, and that offers you an opportunity to get in on the long side if you want to be a bull. I'm a long-term bull. This is what I do. Okay, so the indexes are looking strong. Let's take a look at individual stocks. We look at a handful of stocks either because they're showing a pattern that I want you to see or because they're very popular and a lot of people play these stocks. So let's start with Apple. Okay, and I'll show you what I'm drawing. So Apple has been in this pretty sideways channel for a while, stuck between $170 and $200 a share. Okay, this is about 1 year in time. It's been stuck in this pattern here. It was in this downtrend here, but then it had earnings right here, had good earnings. It popped on the earnings, and so it's starting to make its move higher. Apple, slow mover at this point. It's just going sideways. You have $200 up here acting as the next area of resistance. If it starts to rally, you'll see a lot of activity right around $200. Whether Apple can break above it or not will be the test. It may find some resistance and get knocked back down, but the more time it tries to break through, eventually it will. So keep an eye on Apple. For right now, we have a position on Apple, bullish position, but for us, the way that we play it, sideways action helps us as well, because we are working with time decay on our side as far as option trading. We are option sellers, and sideways action in a stock is just as good as upwards momentum. So that helps us as well. But keep an eye on the $200 level. That's where Apple has to get through if it wants to keep going higher. Let's look at Netflix, because I want to show you these patterns. Okay, Netflix right here, doing well. I think this is all-time new highs for Netflix. Let's look at the monthly. Okay, not yet. So the all-time highs in Netflix was $700. We're getting close to that, $646. Now what I want to show you is the pattern here. The other ascending triangle pattern right here. I showed you that before. You get the upside movement, but it has, based on some areas in the past, has resistance. But as you can see, Netflix is popping through the resistance, getting itself set up for that next leg higher. Also, same pattern here, I think. Let's look, is it Amazon? Amazon sort of having that same ascending pattern here, ascending trial, but it couldn't blast through. It got through this one day here, but then it got knocked back down. So Amazon having a little trouble getting through that 190 area. But the chart that I wanted to show you was Microsoft, also having that same ascending triangle pattern right here. Okay, had the all-time high here. Let's just make sure that was the all-time high for Microsoft. So very recently making all-time highs, got knocked back down here, started to rally up again, and you can see the upside momentum, and just it's hovering around those previous highs. It wants to break through. If it breaks through, it's going to keep going. If not, it's going to knock back down and probably find some support here at the 50-day or the 20-day. So the upside is there. The momentum is there. It just needs that little extra push to get it through the next leg. Google. These are all these big NASDAQ stocks. The NASDAQ stocks, these technology stocks, tend to lead the rest of the market. Here was resistance, all-time new highs for Google. All these stocks, a lot of these stocks are making all-time new highs. Now, this is the monthly chart, so we look back on a very long-term basis. Here, all-time new highs, and then we dial down to the daily chart. This is how we decide to make our trades, by looking at the daily chart. Okay, so Google, looking pretty good here. Blasted through the resistance, making the move, and then it's probably just going to keep on ticking higher. Moving averages are all sloping upwards. Good thing. RSI not even near overbought, so Google's got more room to run. Let's see, what are some of these other NASDAQ stocks? Oh, NVIDIA just still crushing it. Okay, had the triangle here, had the upside going, and then the earnings came out just towards the end of last week. Powered higher, all-time new highs, close to $1,065 a share. Look at it, NVIDIA just going strong. You know, the chip stocks, the AI stocks, NVIDIA has just been killing it, doing great. I can't see it. Why would it go down? I mean, the company's doing great. There's no reason why it would go down. People say, well, it's made an all-time new high. It can't go any higher. Why not? Of course it can go higher. And that's the way I see it. NVIDIA is just going to keep going higher at some point. Maybe it'll have a little sideways action for a little bit. NVIDIA is also going to be splitting 10 for 1, though, real soon. I think like the first week of June. So this thing is going to split, and it's going to go splitting 10 for 1. So it's going to go down to $100, $110 a share, depending on where it closes the day before the split. That's going to make it more accessible, cheaper for more people to be able to buy. And more buying pressure is just going to keep pushing the stock price higher. Okay, let's go to our list here and see what other stocks may be making some moves. We looked at Microsoft. Intel kind of down in the dumps. Intel just can't compete anymore with Nvidia and Micron and AMD. Let's look at AMD as well, because AMD, great company, got hit pretty good, had all-time new highs, and came all the way back down. Here's the 200-day moving average. Looks like it could be setting up for that next leg higher. It's trying to find its footing, trying to figure out where it wants to go. And we actually took a bullish trade in AMD recently because I think it's ready to make that next move higher. It fell off here, came off a long way, started to find some support, and I think it's ready to make that next move higher. So we got to play in AMD. Micron as well. Micron's been doing real well. I think this is all-time new highs for Micron. Take a quick look. Yep. Here was that. I must have drawn this a long time ago. One top, two top, three top. So this was a triple top area, and you can see it actually got sold off, came back for the quadruple top, and it finally blasted through. So Micron, let's get rid of that. All-time new highs here. And you can also see, we can draw this, could have been the double top here, but it's blasting through. So keep an eye here. This 130 area could give it a little bit of trouble in the next week or two. And let's see if it's going to sell off, maybe down to either one of these moving averages, or if it's just going to keep blasting through. So right now, could be some resistance at 130 for now, temporarily, before the next leg higher. So keep an eye on AMD around the 130 area. We looked at Amazon. Did we look at Amazon yet or not? Amazon tried to get through the resistance, got knocked back down. We'll see where it wants to go from there. What else we have? Looked at Netflix. Walmart's doing good. Disney pulling back. Oh, Tesla. We like to look at Tesla because so many people like to play Tesla. I say it every week. It's hard for me to get a handle on Tesla based on the charts, because it's a very ugly looking chart. You can see the downtrending channel. It's trying to find a bottom here, I think that it may have found a temporary bottom for now. 160 was some prior support area, had broken through that, but bounced back. But it's just, hovering around this 180 area, between 170, 180, just trying to figure out where to go. You can see the 20-day moving average, the blue line, has started to curl up. The 50-day right here might be trying to curl its way higher as well. So it could get a little leg up. We have the 200-day still above it, sloping downwards. So it's going to be contained in this area for a little while until it can really make a major move. So I can see Tesla trading between maybe 170 to 200 to maybe 210 at the top for a little while before, maybe it's going to make a little bit of upwards movement here, but it's going to be contained in this area until it really starts to go. So maybe a bottom has been found on Tesla. Keep an eye on that. Bristol Myers just keeps going lower. If you want to look at a stock that's in a downtrend, so you really see BMY, Bristol Myers, just not a good looking chart at all. And it's got this must be on the monthly. Let's see what we did on the monthly here. Yep, we drew the support line on the monthly right here, right around, I don't know, $41, $42. Dropping through it. It's below all the moving averages, below the support, the long-term support. Who knows where it's going to stop? It's a great pharmaceutical company, but as far as getting long or bullish, doesn't make sense. It's still in a downtrend. There's no reason for you to try to pick a bottom when a stock's in a downtrend. You're just going to get frustrated and get hurt. You're going to lose money. Don't buy a stock until it shows you it's got some upwards momentum. It's just going down. Why would you want to buy a stock that looks like this? You don't. You can think, well, I'm going to try to pick a bottom. It can't go. How much lower can it go? Well, you could have been saying that here, and you could have been saying that here, and you could have been saying that here. It just keeps going lower. You want to wait for some kind of confirmed uptrend. All right. So BMY is like the poster child for a stock that just keeps going down. You don't want to get in yet. Merck also has that same kind of triangle pattern here. It's got the upside. Here's the resistance, but it just on Friday, May 24th, it fell down below the lower edge of the the uptrend line here. So it's got the 50-day moving average lurking down below. Maybe it'll catch some support there. But for now, keep an eye on Merck. I'd like to see it go up, but for now, it might fall back a little bit more. So you want to look for some of these patterns, okay? Keep an eye on the patterns. Verizon, yeah, so I've drawn these patterns here, the channels sitting right on the lower edge of the channel, trying to find its footing. This could be a good buyer. If you want to nibble a little bit, nibble on some shares here long, just to see if you can catch a bottom here. Don't go all in because it could break down below, but it could be trying to find its bottom here in support and could rally back up to the upper edge of the channel here. So keep an eye on Verizon. What else? Costco, another great stock. Had the resistance, but you can see just blasted right through it. So Costco, probably going to trade a little sideways here, catch its breath before the next leg higher. Why would these stocks fall down? These are great companies. You got to use the patterns. You got to see the support and resistance. Use your indicators to help you decide when it's time to get in. This is the best way to do it, and you're going to make better trades based on what you're seeing on the charts. Okay, McDonald's, right here. Like McDonald's is in a downtrend right now. Okay, so if you're looking bullish on McDonald's, you might want to wait until it starts to move higher. Now, you can just eyeball these things. It's not black and white. Just connect some of the tops, connect some of the bottoms, and it helps you to see which way the stock is moving. Now, when it comes back down to the bottom edge of the channel here, it'll probably bounce because it's been sold off so hard. And so if it does bounce, your thing is it going to pop through the downtrending line here, or is it going to get knocked back down for the next leg lower? So it's all going to come down to, if it bounces, will it pop through or not? Here is your inflection point. That's when it bounces. You're going to wait to see, should I sell it here or wait until it pops through? That's what you're looking for. Even Clorox, I think, has the same pattern. Same thing in the downtrend. Okay, it's sitting right on the bottom edge here. So we may get a bounce in Clorox. Okay, it's come up really far. All stocks will bounce and all stocks will sell off based on the trend that it's in. So Clorox looking like it could be at the bottom here for a bounce. Doesn't mean it's a new bullish pattern. It just means it's been sold so much that it has to bounce at some point, but it doesn't mean a new bull leg is starting. It could bounce, and then if it comes up here, it could get knocked back down again. It's getting close to oversold. So keep an eye on Clorox. If you're looking for a shorter term bullish potential bounce, and that's all it might be, is just a bounce, then buying or getting long Clorox right around down here could be a play, a shorter term play. And if it does bounce, make sure you take your profits because it could get knocked right back down. All right, so that's Clorox. Let's see what else we have. Coca-Cola. Not much happening there. Johnson & Johnson, not much happening there. Adobe, let's look at Adobe real quick. Adobe had been in the downtrend. You can see the channel that I drew, but it's trying to find, this is called a rounded bottom, trying to find its legs here, trying to see if it could muster up some strength and go higher, or if it's going to get knocked back down. Draw a little support line right here on the lows of this one. Whoops, come on line. So you want to draw your support right there where it made the last low, okay? And if this sells off, here's your inflection point. Is it going to get knocked back down, or is it going to bounce off of here? So keep an eye on Adobe, trying to make that bottom. Not there yet. Not ready to call it a bull market yet. SMCI is our other big one that we typically like to look at just because it had such a strong move. Had the power move higher, pulling back, trying to get through it, but it's having trouble getting through the 50-day moving average here. Here's the 50-day curled over, the 20-day now starting to curl up a little. So we've got a battle going on right in here between like $850 to $900 a share, trying to figure out where it wants to go. My bet is that soonish it's probably going to start that next leg higher. Okay, so you really want to wait until it starts to show you the move. Don't try to be a hero. Don't try to, get in before it shows you what it wants to do. If you have some reserves, maybe you can nibble here and there, but don't go all in. Wait, let the chart show you what it wants to do, and then get on board for that next trend. That's how you're going to make the money. You want to get on board the trend once it shows itself, okay? Trying to pick bottoms and trying to pick tops, it's a really hard thing to do. You're going to get burned, so don't do that, all right? So as far as what we do here at the Smart Option Seller, we're big on selling put options. We sell put options. We sell put option credit spreads. Those are bullish strategies. That's what we do. It gives us a lot of cushion for directional error. If the stock moves in the wrong direction, we don't get hurt as badly because we use out of the money strikes. If you want to learn what we do, you can go to our website, smartoptionseller.com. Also, in the description below the video here, get our free ebook. The free ebook on put selling, how to do it, what it is, why we love it so much. Also look at the other things that we have in the description below. Got links for other books, other websites, things that I think are helpful to everybody. That's what we do. All right, so that's about it for the chart reading. I hope it's been helpful. Give me a thumbs up if you like the video. We make these videos free for the trading community. We want to help each other out. And send me an email, leave me a comment. I'm here to help. Send me some ideas, other videos that you want to see. I get a lot of requests to look at the charts, but I also make other videos on option trading strategies. Give me an idea, and look at the videos on my YouTube channel here. I have lots of videos on other things. All right, so put in the work. Get ready for next week. That's what we do, and that's it for today. Hope everyone has a great trading week ahead. This is Lee Lowell signing off.